I was intrigued by the new Netflix documentary Gunther's Millions, as it focuses on extreme wealth, some crazy stories, and a very unlikely heir. Multi-millionaire Gunther VI lives in the lap of luxury. He travels on private planes, eats gold-flaked steaks for dinner, and surrounds himself with a glamorous entourage of spokesmodels and entertainers. He's also a German Shepherd. So I'm going to keep this review fairly short. This 4-episode documentary series comes across like a weird and bizarre mix of Big Brother, The Real World, Tiger King, and Keeping Up with the Kardashians. We're told the story of Gunther, or Gunther, and he's this German Shepherd who inherits a crazy amount of money from a countess. And then we get to hear from all of those that surround the pooch, his human entourage, his business team. I mean, it's a dysfunctional, even terrifying story. It's also mixed with unbelievable drama. Within this, there's a lot of repetitive imagery, but there's also a ton of interview footage with the participants. And I think the second episode is more filler than anything. It does showcase some info that gives a more insight into the mindsets and zaniness of the entire story, but much of it just goes to illustrate the wealth that surrounded the dog, which had already been established, and then it continued to be established. And the documentary's all over the place, but that's because the story itself is almost unbelievable. And it's not necessarily that the storytelling is convoluted. I mean, the filmmakers are trying to tell the most cohesive and understandable story they can. But when those that are giving their accounts are a bit scattered and not straightforward, well, that's what you get. Now, while it doesn't start out this way, there is a very clear antagonist within the narrative. Hubris and greed, along with depression and mental health, that play a major role in so many of the interactions and the personas we meet. And the entire story is a blend of psychotic delusion, deception, and even eugenics. I mean, it's messed up and disturbing, but also so convoluted that it's hard to discern truth from fiction, especially because several of the accounts we hear, they change depending on when they're being told or when people are being confronted with opposing facts. Now, the visuals are captured well, especially in the interviews, and I really appreciate that the filmmakers, they keep the audio running even when the subject wants the camera turned off. So we get to see behind the curtain and get access to a bit of the truth that the subjects may want to try and obscure. So overall, Gunther's Millions is an odd story that's filled with a lot of dark and distressing elements. It's also much more focused on the human element that surrounds the dog rather than Gunther himself. I think the documentary is longer than it needs to be, but the sensational and crazy aspects that are captured certainly make this an engaging show to watch. It might make you lose some more faith in humanity, but it also will make you want to snuggle up to a dog all the more. There's no sex, some nudity, a lot of profanity, and not really any violence, but there are some disturbing images in the final episode. Now, as a reminder, I don't give couch ratings to documentaries, but this is a rather fun watch, or at least it's bizarre. So I do recommend checking out Gunther's Millions on Netflix when you get the chance. So what are some shows or movies that are coming out in the next few weeks that you're looking forward to seeing? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.